All right, Coach. Opening thoughts on getting your season started tomorrow, and what have you seen from the team so far?
No, we're obviously very excited that we get to play tomorrow. Um, obviously it's been a long time coming. But we face a very difficult opponent, an opponent that has many advantages. But of course, throughout the years we've proved that we can defeat teams that have great advantages over us, and it's part of the DNA of our team.
Any questions for Coach?
I'll lead it off. Hey, Coach. Good afternoon. I just wanted to ask you what's going to be the biggest challenge for your team as far as team chemistry is concerned. You have 17 new faces on the team, and trying to put them into a style of play that you want to adjust at least for this spring season.
Right. I mean, it is a challenge. Our team chemistry off the field, I think, is quite good. So that's a big positive. That makes it easier. But of course, now we come into a point where the games matter. Wins or losses are at stake, and we have to be able to find the best 11 that are going to help us win on that day. We're not quite there yet. We're not quite there yet. So I think the next 3 or 4 games for conference play will determine that. I think that you'll see a little bit of squad rotation during these times. But I think we're close. I think players are competing hard, and but they need matches to really solidify their place in the team in the first 11. So we're going to be looking at different ideas, different styles over the next few days, and I think we'll come up with the best formula by the time we play Seattle.
What other questions I do wanted to ask? I know it's been a difficult challenge to find the best 11, but what position has given you the hardest time as a coach to try to figure out?
To be fair, I think eh, we always ask the players to make us argue, the coaches to make the coaches argue about who should play where and what formation and what personnel should be involved, and they're doing a really good job of that. So I would say every position's it's been an argument. Every position's been a battle for playing time. The players have responded very well. They're training hard. We look at our work rates, and then the things we measure. They're very high and competing, so we were quite pleased from that standpoint. But I'll say, yeah, I think all 11 spots are there to be taken by someone.
Thank you.
And now, Coach, you were kind of talking about this. How important are those first 4 non-conference matches? Compared, say to men's soccer, they had the 2 exhibition games and get right into conference play, but you guys have a little bit more games to play. How important will it be those 4 games of non-conference play?
Obviously, very important. We would have preferred to play friendlies ahead. These games count. These count to our win-loss record. This is our part of what we are as a team, so it will be shown. We need as many games as we can get during this time, especially if we haven't played in over a year. We're fortunate that we're able to play 4 non-conference matches, but again, we're playing to win. These aren't friendlies. We can make experiments, not too many, and it's the truth of the matter is that there's times when conference games are important, but non-conference games are also very important. And certainly with 18 games, only 4 non-conference, like we really want to win all 4 of them if we can.
And with these games, and after such a long layoff, and probably not having the most up-to-date film on some of these teams that you're about to face, specifically Corpus, when it comes to these non-conference games, will you be focusing more on your team, or as you said, they are very important matches and you want to get wins? Will you be focusing on how to attack weaknesses from your opponents, or will there be some balance in between?
Right now with Corpus specifically, they have massive advantage over us because they were able to play fall friendlies. So we do have some video on them. And that goes a long way to their ability to be in a much further advanced point in terms of team preparation and team cohesion than we can be, who have not played games, who did not play any friendlies in the fall. For them, I mean, they should have no problems. They should have no problems. So it's really more about what we can do, how prepared we'll be. We know them quite well. But again, we're fortunate that we have some video, but again, I think everyone's in the same boat. It's going to be a battle, a tough game, but I mean, they have all the advantages going into the game.
And you are highlighting how Corpus has an advantage, but is there any specific advantage that you think your team could possibly have over Corpus, whether it's your back line or your attacking group, or who's in net for you guys? Is there any advantages for your team in this matchup tomorrow?
Our team traditionally has been able to defeat teams who have vast advantages, whether they're on the field, off the field, what have you. We traditionally have been able to defeat opponents that have certain things that perhaps we don't. But at the same time, we know how to use what we have very well, and we are always very well prepared. We're a team that may not get always the respect, but we have been able to win 40 games in the last 4 years, finish in the top 2 of the past 3 years. We've done all of these accolades, and yet we still go into games as underdogs. And we'll take that role because if you don't take us seriously, we're gonna give you a pretty hard bite.
And speaking about that, kind of chip on your shoulder, is that something you constantly reiterate to your squad of, hey, say in the WAC preseason poll, the coaches are counting us out, or non-conference games, these teams are counting us out? Is that something you verbalize to your team?
We don't have to anymore. I mean, it becomes evident in the way we're treated when we arrive somewhere, and the way the polls look. I mean, we have finished second in the league in 2018. The following year, we finished fifth. So, the year before, we finished third. We finished sixth in 2018. We finished second, so forth and so on. We don't have to verbalize. It's all there for players to see. They know. They fight against these odds. They're successful against these odds. And to be fair, that's kind of the place where we want to be. And it's, like I said, it's our team DNA to defeat teams that have advantages over us in many ways.
And one player that I specifically want to talk about is Emily Zapata, who was named to the all-conference first team. What can you tell us about, we've known what she's done these last couple of years with the squad, a very talented player, but is there any improvement we can expect from, an already very talented player?
Yeah, Emily is actually got a lot more to offer. I think you'll see Emily as she gets closer to her graduation. She's on the path to pro. And there's many things that she's realizing now that she has to do to make it to that next level. We've been very fortunate here to have a number of players sign at the next level in different countries. Emily's have seen those players, what they do off the field, their nutrition, their hydration, their rest. And she's taken a lot of these things in stride. So I think over the next few seasons here, I think Emily's gonna offer a whole lot more than what you've seen. I think she just warmed up in the first 2 years.
Those are all the questions I had. Thank you, Coach.
Coach, with a truncated schedule, as far as non-conference, and you have the conference portion of it, what's going to be the overall check marks that you want to see your team check off as you guys go into conference play, beginning first with the opening match tomorrow?
Of course, we want to be as prepared as we can be for each opponent. Now, we spend a lot of time working on our training session, working on preparing for the particular opponent that we're about to face. But to be honest, we go one game at a time. The idea is to win as many games as possible, conference, non-conference. We're in the business of winning, and in the end, that's what we're going to try to do.